All right, you're an acrylic painter and you love it, but you know what? There's this little thing saying to you, but I'd love to try oils, because you keep hearing about this buttery feel that the oils have, the luminosity. But there's a fear involved in this, and the fear is that there's a financial investment here. You've got all of these paints and you love acrylics. There's nothing wrong with them. But you just want to try something different. And how do you do that and justify it? Well, you don't have to, because I'm going to show you that you can use your acrylics and your oils together in one painting. That should solve the problem, and you don't have to buy a lot of oils, just in case you don't know that. So I'm just going to cover a few things to ease your mind. But let me tell you what we're going to cover in this. We're going to cover the fact of the health concerns about oils. We're going to cover the brushes, the palette. What do you use for the palette? Now, first I want to discuss the health concerns, because this is a health issue, and you don't take it lightly. I have been using oils for many years, and I have to tell you, my studio is as you come in the front door. And I don't keep the windows open because it's either hot in the summer or it's cold in the winter. So what do? I have an air purifier right at the base of my easel. And there are other things that you can do, such as you can wear gloves. But what kind of gloves? And don't you just hate those dime store gloves that just kind of hang? Let me show you. I'm going to tell you the best gloves ever. And they are for chemicals, so you're going to be, it's right up your alley. They're Trilights 994. And they are quite nice. They're easy to slip on. You get them in different sizes. I love that because, let's face it, I don't have a big hand, but I don't have an itsy-bitsy hand. They are nice and firm, and I can use and do everything with them. And so I like them. Gloves are important because, let's face it, we're dealing with paints, and skin is your biggest organ, and you don't want to have all of this paint all over you. The other thing is, don't eat while you're painting. And, that is just like inviting trouble. But when I have water or something to drink, I put it way over so that it's not right there. That's another thing. I think if you're doing it a small, like say you're painting in a bedroom, I would have a fan on. I would have a air purifier, and I'd keep the door open. Now, I use Gamsol, and that is an odorless mineral spirit. It's as good as you're going to get. There are many brands, so I'm not promoting Gamsol. I'm just saying that's what I use. But there are things with Gamsol that you can do to even make it better. And that's when you have it in your container, keep a container closed. And then you will be probably wiping a brush. You'll be dipping it in and wiping the brush. Well, when you do that, then what you need to do, after you've finished, you don't leave that in your bedroom or your wherever you are. You take it outside and you let it dry. Because then the vapors, anything is just going to vaporize. And so it's perfectly harmless. Now, what I use for washcloths, and I will show you what I use, I order them from Walmart, and they come in a package like this. There's 18 in here. So what I do is that I buy these. I use them in the kitchen. I use them for cleaning. I use them for everything. Then when they get really kind of mucky and icky, they go to my studio. And this is great because I feel like I'm not just taking these new, I'm using them elsewhere. So It's just a little quirky thing that I do. I love these because of the weight of them. They're thin, they're nice, and I like them. And I'm not promoting Walmart either. The other thing too are brushes. Do you need to get separate brushes? Yeah. Yes, you do. You need to have separate brushes for your acrylics and your oils. And as you know, there's a bucket of brushes out there. So how do you pick? Because brushes are not cheap. So I'm going to just give you an idea of what I use. As I say, I'm not promoting these either, but I like the Hamburg blend. The blend is very much like Mongoose, which is very smooth and wonderful. And, you know, they come in different varieties. You have brights, you have filberts, you have rounds, you have fans, and then all of those come in all kinds of sizes. So what do? Well, I will just tell you what I use most. I use the filbert most, the long handle filbert. And the reason that I do is because, by the way, here is a bright, because it's short. And I like those. They're flat. I like those. I don't use them as much as the filbert. Now, why do I like the filbert? I like it for the simple reason that when I am painting, I use the side, this itsy bitsy thin side, to blend and to make wonderful edges. If I do it flat, I get a brush stroke. If I want a brush stroke, this is what I use. And I do like brush strokes. Now, what size do I get? And what is best for you? Well, the one thing I'm going to tell you is don't get just itsy bitsy ones, okay? Get something with a little body. This one is a 16. I love this size. I think I probably use this size more, and it's a 12. And I use this on big canvases, so it's whatever good for you. But yes, you will need separate brushes. Now, do I use my Gamsol to wash my brushes? Yes, I do. I certainly do. I also use it to thin my paint. Now, I made my own palette, and I'm going to show you how to do this because it is a fabulous palette. You can see that what I do is I clean it off after I finish painting because I want a clean palette. And I just take a window scraper, or just kind of paint scraper, and I just clean it up. It cleans up really easy, really nice. And so this is my design. This is just strictly how I do it, but this may give you an idea, and you can do it even better. But this is a 1/4 inch piece of glass that I had cut. You can cut it at any size that you want. And then I mixed some acrylic paint, made a gray, and painted the underside of this. Let it dry. Then, because I do not have a saw that I could use with regular wood, I ordered yardsticks. And I cut those because they're very easy to cut, and I attached them with Gorilla Glue. Let that dry. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, why do you have this section? The reason I have this section is because I want my can of Gamsol to fit here. Then the other thing that I want is that I want to be able to put something down here. Let's say this is an old washcloth, or this is an old washcloth. And so I just put it here. That way when I rinse my brush in the Gamsol, I can then, if I want to, dab it. So make the palette the size that you want it, that works for you. And it's really quite cheap because I think this size I don't know what size this is, but it costs about $55 for the glass. Of course, you've got the acrylics, and you order the yardsticks, and you've got probably Gorilla Glue, and you've got your own palette that lasts forever. And this is old, and I love it. It just is great. What if this goes down? Do you throw this away? Well, the answer is no, because this is expensive. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take an old mason jar. You are going to pour this in. As much as you can. Now, you are going to have a little bit of gunk in the bottom. And this gunk, you don't put away in the trash can. What you do is that you are going to, this can be gold, by the way. It can just be fabulous. I sometimes take an old canvas and I will cover it. Now I'm just going to do this. This is just something old. And I will cover the entire bit. They are different colors because it depends on the painting that you've done. So this is what I do, and this way I get to use it. This is what I call gunk. This is just the leftover stuff from your paint. Now, if you don't like it, you can wipe it off. You can roll it off with toilet paper. You can do whatever it is you want to do. Or you can scrape it up with a putty knife is what I use. Put it in some paper towels, and that way you throw it away. But you do not put any of this down your sink because I would think it would not be good. Now, what's going to happen with this is that this is going to settle. All of this is going to settle, and you're going to have fresh Gamsol or cleaner in your jar. So this way you save money. And as I say, it's too expensive to do any other way. Then you pour this back in, you put this back on, and sometimes it's a little hard to get in. You pour this back in, and you've got fresh Gamsol. I always wipe it all out to make sure it's all clean. Then, of course, you're going to put your lid on. And that keeps the vapors from coming out. That wraps it up on this one. Leave a comment. I love your comments. If you've got questions, put them in the comment section.